Alright, welcome back to Ox Tool. I'm Tom. We're trying to get this worm shaft fitted in this casting. After we did a little bit of welding, there was some weld distortion of this one bore. So there's a slight misalignment between this side and this side here. You can see that they're separated by a few inches there. So 5 inches end to end. Anyway, there's a slight misalignment between this bore and this bore, and the shaft doesn't want to. I can get it through and I can turn it, but it's a little stiff. It's not right. This thing you kind of want to turn nice and easy with no. You don't want a rumpity rump when you're turning the handle. You want a nice smooth, rotary table type handle. Okay. Not some lumpity lump bent shaft feeling thing. So I got a couple of choices. I could bore this and bush it and do a bunch of horsing around. That's kind of a long way back to go since I can actually get the dang shaft through the thing and turn it by hand. So we're only talking a few tenths or maybe $1,000 or something like that of misalignment. So it's not much. So what I'm going to try. Kind of old school deal. What I did is, I don't know if you can see down in there, but I put some bluing down in there and let it dry. Should be dry by now. And I'm going to run the shaft through just once, pull it out, and look at the high spots in there. And they'll show up as shinies. They'll show up as shinies in the bluing. And then I'm gonna go at them with a couple of scrapers and see if I can just work those local spots and get the thing back into proper bearing and get the feel that I want on that shaft. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to use the actual shaft. I have a piece of 3/4 cold rolled here, but it's kind of loose compared to this one, so it's probably a few thousandths different. Anyway, I'm going to use this shaft and see how it goes here. The trick is I don't want to rub all that bluing. Okay, so there it's through. Minimal wiggling here. Okay. That's a little on there. Let's take a look down in there and see what we got. Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's helpful. Okay, well, I think I can work with that. I can see. There's some pretty good shiny spots in there. I don't really have enough good light right here right now. What do I got that I can put over here? I think I'm going to bring my big fat light over here and shine some good light down in there. The video will probably like the extra light anyway, so what the heck. Okay, prepare to be blinded. All right. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, I can see that. not taking much off. It's just a little bit of dust there. You can kind of see it's just a little bit of dust. Magnetic. All right, let's try this again. Oh yeah, well, I'm on the spot there. So that's already easier. So there's just no play in it right now. I can turn it by hand. Let's see if I can polish that spot. Polish the pesky little spot. Put my better glass. My better Dina Dells on here. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that little rascal. Okay. So yeah, that works pretty good actually. The bluing's kind of a waste. It just kind of rubs off, but you can actually the hone left kind of a excuse me, a satin finish in there, and now that I ran that nice smooth shaft in there, it leaves a nice shiny in there that I can spot on pretty easy. So let's see. Just sharpen this one a little bit. This is cast iron, so it's kind of flaking off. There's another little spot back in the back. This is a longer one. So you can see that, just a couple of high spots is bearing on this is really kind of jamming this up a little bit. And once again, I'm not taking very much out, so I'm just going to dull the finish with that. Kind of give it a non-reflective finish there. Clean that out. Okay, let's stick the shaft back in here. Let's see what we get. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. It's got a little wiggle there, but okay, it's definitely easier. It's pretty close. A couple more of those ought to do it. Hey. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. Scrape and rub. I can't imagine scraping a whole machine in, it's just, this seems like it would take you forever to do all that. I'd go bonkers if I had to fit a machine together like that. I guess there's an art to reading these little high spots too, you know. You can probably, you know, if you do this all the time, you can probably read them and say, oh yeah, that needs, you know, 25 little scratches at it or whatever. And I don't do it very much, only in little repair jobs like this. Oop, hey, there it is. So that wasn't bad. It just, okay, I don't detect any play there, but I can turn it with 2 fingers, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yippee. Okay, I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so I'm not going to mess with that anymore. Clean it out a little bit better. My solvent of choice, WD-40. I use this on everything. Mostly kerosene with a little bit of flavoring. From a rust preventative standpoint, it's not that great, but it's a good grease cutter. It makes a decent lubricant for machining aluminum. It's cheap and convenient. You can get it anywhere. You know, most of us hobby guys that work at home, we're not worried about optimizing our cutting speeds for maximum metal removal, shit like that. So, well, we want something that we can get our hands on Sunday afternoon at the hardware store. Alright? Alright, so that's got a light film now on that. Alright, that's pretty sweet. And we know our shaft is straight because I checked it. So I'm going to get some assembly lube and put a little assembly lube on this and put the collar back on. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna deburr the top edges of these taper pinholes. I've been looking at them, and they were drilled and reamed in place, so they had these just kind of razor sharp edges on them that I didn't like the looks of. I'm just running the scraper around those to friendlyize those. Well, everything's magnetized here. I don't know if that's from the welding or what, but all the chips are kind of sticking. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, let me grab a little tube of assembly lube and we'll stick this mamaluka together and put it on the machine. This is Permatex Super Lube. It's a Teflon, synthetic Teflon lube. I use it for little assembly jobs like this that just need a little bit of a kind of a light assembly grease. It's, I don't know, I've had this tube for like 20 years or something like that. It's still hanging in there. I use it sparingly. You don't need a heck of a lot. So I get a little Q-tip here. I'm just kind of distributing it around there. Everything in there. It's got a couple of lube holes here, so it's meant to be lubed with, say, whey oil or something like that. I had a little too much on that one. Let's scoop that up. Get that face off there. Okay. I gotta look at the holes again. Okay, that's the big end there. Alright. And here's my little collar. And that's the big end of the collar. Okay, it's got a little bit of axial wiggle, but that's okay. I'd rather have that than the thing being too tight. Okay. Excuse me. Hand wheel. As I recall, this was a little tight before. So, I wonder if this will fit in there. Oh yeah. Alright, yeah, that cleaned it up. Pretty good. Alright, let me get a little a rawhide mallet. Yes. Down against the device here. Okay, that's it. I think that's ready for action. Pretty happy. So welded up, it spins good. You didn't have to bush it or do anything crazy there. I think that's a good repair. Okay, so next up we'll put it back on the machine, and you can see the little rotary table index on this thing. So I'll get that shot set up, and I'll come back. Okay. Remember, nothing too strong ever broke. See you soon.